And Ronald Clark is in the studio standing by with sports.
Coming up, with both Ducks baseball and softball teams take their talent on the road for Pac-12 matchups. And the acrobatic and tumbling team is set to defend its title at the Acrobatic and Tumbling National Championship. We'll have details after the break. Welcome back. I'm Ronald Clark with this week's sports update. The number 7 ranked Ducks will have their hands full this weekend with the top 10 battle against their in-state rival, number 4 Oregon State. The Ducks will be coming into the series riding a 9-game winning streak. Since the University of Oregon reinstated the baseball program in 2009, the home team has won 15 of the 21 Civil War games. Junior pitcher Jake Reed talked about how hard it is to play in Corvallis.
It's the most hostile place I've ever played at in any sport. It's tough, but it's fun. You got to learn to kind of embrace it and just get after it the same as you would here.
The 3-game series begins against the Beavers tonight at 7 p.m. Junior lefty Tommy Thorpe will be on the mound for the Ducks. Moving on to the number 1 softball team in the country, tonight the Ducks will begin a 3-game series against the Stanford Cardinals. The Ducks have now held the number 1 spot for 3 consecutive weeks. A huge part of their success this year has to do with the superb play and leadership of sophomore pitching ace Sheridan Hawkins. Oregon News sports reporter Chris Brooklier has a story on Hawkins stepping into the leadership role.
Sheridan Hawkins has led the Oregon softball program to unseen heights this year, but earlier in the season, she faced something she never would imagine when she sliced her finger open after a pitch.
And there's a huge piece of skin like flailing there, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. So then I went out and tried to pitch, and then I was like, I don't think this is going to happen. And the trainer came out, cut it. I made it through the inning. Can't see my gash. Once my adrenaline got going, it wasn't as difficult, because I quit thinking about it. At the start of the game, I'm like, oh, my finger, like this hurts. And then once it started getting the game going, I forgot about it. And then after I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's still there.
At 19 years old, Hawkins was the youngest to compete on last year's U.S. national team. There, she developed both in her skills and her mentality.
I was the youngest person on that team, so I learned a lot, from those older kids on just even how to mentally prepare and some leadership skills.
Hawkins has already put those skills on display this season as the Ducks' new ace, where she's already picked up 25 wins and 3 Pac-12 Player of the Week awards. For Hawkins, though, it's all about the team.
I just realized my team is more important to me than those things. I start to weigh okay, you had a bad bullpen, that really stinks, but you want to win this game for your team. So what's more important, thinking about the bad bullpen or thinking about the win?
For the first time in the program's history, Oregon is ranked number 1 in the country. And Hawkins has one clear goal in mind for the end of the season.
Obviously, the end goal is we want to win the Pac-12 and we want to win the College World Series. Those are obviously at the top of the list.
Reporting for Oregon News, I'm Chris Brooklier.
You can watch Hawkins and the number 1 ranked Ducks kick off their series against the Cardinals tonight on ESPNU at 7 o'clock. Another number 1 team in Eugene is the acrobatic and tumbling team. The Ducks are in Azusa, California for the Acrobatic and Tumbling National Championships. The championship competition kicked off last night with individual events, which saw the Ducks take home 6 event titles, the most of the night. The quest for their 4th consecutive championship continues with the team matchups tonight. That's all for sports. We now send it to Nick Nathaniels with your weekend forecast. Nick?